As I've stuck to our custom-made diet throughout these past couple weeks, I've seen significant improvements to many aspects of my life, and most importantly, my cognitive ability. Although there have been ups and downs in the sense that the diet was mildly strict and tough to follow, I'm happy I stuck with it. I truly believe that my overall cognition has improved, along with my learning capacity and my ability to stay tuned in for longer amounts of time. There have been some weeks that have been harder than others, such as spring break, because it was more difficult to stick to the specificity that our diet called for because of all the distractions. However, my overall cognition did not feel anywhere near the same as when it did when I was eating the proper superfoods and drinking the amount of water our diet had accounted us for. By this week off, I was able to see that our diet truly did work, because without it, my overall cognition rating is significantly lower. My feeling was similar to that of what I read in the article Eat Smart for a Healthier Brain by Dr. Carol Surgeon, in the sense that eating the same superfoods we have incorporated in our diet will lead to a healthy brain, no matter the circumstances. Some other secondary sources I was able to research to increase my knowledge throughout this diet would be many. However, they all had the same common theme. Although nothing can completely turn your cognitive being into its best shape automatically, eating superfoods such as berries and avocados, along with having a distinct eating schedule and straying away from eating anything past 9, can help one.
So starting this diet, I wasn't really eating anything specifically or really trying to feel my body in a certain way. And so starting this diet was kind of a little hard and I didn't really notice much, but going through the active 30-day research cycle, I did realize that food actually does help. On a personal level, we made these charts or weekly logs, and it just has each week has a scale of your alertness, ability to focus, mood, and then I put in shifts just to keep track of how I was feeling. And we tried to do it 3 days out of the week, which we did. And so you can see it goes throughout all 30 days. And we would rate alertness, ability to focus, and mood on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being good. Average those 3 scores out and get an average for the week. I usually often started off the week with a really high scores, and then my scores would go down each week, and that was really noticeable in the first week. But I started to get less noticeable as time went on, and I started eating better foods. Like my alertness and my ability to focus and also my stress levels were not as low at the end of the week. They were actually better scores having to eat better foods. And a part of this is still through research and recapping on a few notable foods that we eat, like eating your veggies and your berries and cherries and just like examples of avocado or spinach or things like that. I wasn't eating much of before, and once I did, it really helped throughout the week. The overall 30-day active research project did have a very good effect on me, and I did learn a lot from it, as it taught me that eating will help me throughout the week and make it a lot harder on my body and on my mind, and that it was a very good experience to go through.
My diet has been going well and really helped me focus during class and things I do in my everyday life, and has had an impact on the way I feel when I work out and do outdoor activities. But when I went home for spring break, I started to fall away from my dieting and eating fast food and not drinking enough water and not getting enough protein. When I started to do this, I could tell and feel the changes in my body and my attitude towards these things. And I started to change, so all in all, over this last month, I think this diet was hard when I first started and I really couldn't tell the changes, but as time passed, I felt it was really beneficial. It helped me. So in the future, I think this routine will be good and I will stick to this diet.
Over the course of the past 30 days, my goal is to adjust my diet and eating habits in order to maximize my overall cognition. By simply focusing on a few guidelines set forth by our team, I was able to do just that. Although the first week was a little difficult because the diet was hard to get used to initially, after a bit of a grace period, I was able to hold myself to the standards that we had created. Within a matter of just a few days, I saw my overall cognition ratings rise significantly. It was truly amazing to discover how such a small adjustment in your life can make such a huge impact. I also found that my results were supportive of the data published by Harvard Health, stating that your food consumption affects your brain. But just as easily as my OCR rose, it was susceptible to falling as well. Over spring break, I faltered slightly in my dieting, which resulted in a noticeable decrease in my cognition. I found that when I let my hydration fall, so did my cognition and alertness levels. As time went on and I discovered the key aspects of the diet, I was able to find the perfectly balanced meals to ensure that my mental state was efficient as it could be. All in all, this 30-day trial has been a great experience, and I will continue to follow the guidelines after we are done with this assignment.
After coming together as a group and evaluating our results, we discovered the following things. First, we each compare our OCR measurements every 3 days. When we compiled the data, this is what we found. As you can see, we each actually had a quite similar pattern. When we first began the diet, our cognition levels were relatively low and we had lots of room for improvement. Within the first week, we all saw a significant increase in our mental state. Those scores remain high as long as we follow our diet closely. You then see all of our scores drop a substantial amount when we went home for spring break. A combination of factors such as eating out more frequently, dehydration, alcohol consumption, and the lack of attention diet guidelines are what caused this drop to occur. While it's too bad that we had to learn the hard way, we are still grateful for the severe drop in scores because it shed light on just how effective our diet truly was. One aspect of the diet that we all found to be the make or break influencer of our OCR scores was hydration. We found that the amount of water we consumed made the most obvious direct impact of all the guidelines we had. When we stayed on top of our water requirements, we all reported feeling of alertness, positive moods, high energy levels, and a stronger ability to focus. Overall, this diet has been extremely successful in showcasing the importance that nutrition has on our bodies. It has become very clear that a healthy brain equals a healthy body. We will continue to live by the guidelines of this diet and hope that they become a habit in our lives, not just rules we have to follow for our UF 100 project.